Welcome back. I'm Karen G. Adams, financial coach and founder of Financial Management 101, and someone who spent nearly 4 decades in financial services, helping people and businesses create better relationships with money. So in today's episode, I want to share something that's not budgeting related or how to pay off debt. This one's for the leaders in the group. Whether you're a business owner, HR consultant, team manager, or CEO, this episode is about people. More specifically, your people and what they're silently craving in 2025. Because the game has changed. Employees aren't just working for a paycheck anymore, they're working for peace of mind. And if you can't offer that, someone else will. So today, we're going to dive deep. We're going to look at what's really driving staff stress and quiet disengagement, and what salaries aren't even doing to help keep people today, and how to shift them from offering a job to creating a future. So let's dive in. Let's go back now about 15, 20 years ago, where a steady job, salary package, maybe a fuel card and a Christmas bonus was enough to attract and retain top talent. Loyalty was high, turnover was low. But not anymore, sadly, because today's employees are living with higher rising rents and mortgage rates. The emotional toll of financial instability is weighing heavily on them. Their debt is more high from the buy now, pay later services and their credit card debt. They're mismanaging to make the minimum repayments. They've possibly got sleepless nights, about bills, about what's happening with their kids and their family and their future. And here's the kicker. Many of these people are on good salaries. So what do you think's happening? Well, here's a hard truth. You can't outpay financial stress if your people don't know how to manage money or don't feel safe enough to ask. And a bigger paycheck isn't going to solve the emotional spending patterns or the financial trauma from childhood or the fear of asking for support and possibly the shame around past money decisions. And that's what your team is possibly carrying around with them every day, quietly, invisibly, until one day they check out or walk out. So what do employees really want? Well, it's not just about more money. It's about more meaning, more safety, and more autonomy. And here's what I hear in real coaching sessions across the industry from junior staff to senior execs. They say, I just want to feel more in control of my money again. I'm really too embarrassed to admit I don't know what I'm doing financially. And some of them are afraid to ask their manager about how it's stressing them out because we've still got money shame and we don't talk about money like we should in some occasions. So your team want to feel like they're capable, like they can handle their finances. They want to feel calm, not anxious every time they get paid. And they want to be seen not just as a role, the function of the business, but as a person as a whole. And they're not looking for a perk. They're just looking for permission to feel safe financially and emotionally. And when you create this kind of culture that's new here today from 2025, that's where it's all possible. You don't just keep staff, you transform them. So let me demystify this. Financial coaching is about pushing products or giving investment advice. It's about practical, compassionate, and real-world money support that empowers your people and shifts the entire vibe of the workplace. And here's how I partner with employers. I firstly can offer confidential one-on-one coaching, and these private conversations offer no judgment. It doesn't involve HR, and employees talk to me about what's really going on, whether it's their budget blowouts or they don't know how to budget, they don't know where the money's going, possibly debt that's overwhelming, that's hidden, they just don't know what to do with, relationship pressures around money, because as we know, when finances suffer, relationships tend to follow secondly. And sometimes through these confidential one-on-one coachings, it comes out with the fear of financial failure for people. So we create a simple, actionable plan together. And the second area I can do is I can work with in groups that engage. So forget the financial boring talks. These sessions are interactive, they're grounded and they're real, and they don't single anyone or any situation out in particular. And the topics will include how to stop them living paycheck to paycheck, how for them to create a debt-free plan, how mindset impacts our money habits, and most importantly, emergency funds, how to put them in place, how to make them simple, and how to build up so they have a buffer, most importantly. Third area is ongoing digital coaching and support. So because one session normally isn't enough, staff can join a private coaching portal, and what they get is monthly challenges, video resources, live Q&As, replays, and tools that they can use forever. This approach gives people what they've never had, consistent support with no shame attached. So what's the ripple effect of empowered employees? Well, let me give you an example. I had a lady, I'm not going to name her name. She's a teacher and I worked with. She was brilliant at her job, but deeply stressed. She had over $30,000 in debt. She had no savings and she just didn't have a clue of a way to get out of this debt. And she wasn't asking for a pay rise. She was just asking for some relief and help. So after coaching, she set up a really simple debt repayment system. And she started to put $20 a week into an emergency fund at the same time. So what this did was it helped build confidence and she started sleeping way better. So her principal told me she's back. She's brighter, she's more engaged, she's leading staff PD days again, and it's like something that's lifted. That something wasn't about money, it was about mental freedom for her. Now imagine this shift multiplied across your teams, especially your high performers, your emerging leaders, your future culture champions. So I want us to be real. Post-COVID, mid cost of living crisis, we're in a workplace era where we're getting more burnout with our staff, they're quietly quitting, they're putting their resumes out and scrolling at lunch breaks on online employment areas, and people are prioritizing their life over their work now. And if you're still trying to retain staff with pizza Fridays or drinks or salary reviews once a year, you're kind of missing the mark. The real question is, how does your workplace make people feel? And if the answer is overworked and undersupported and afraid to speak up, you're going to lose your good people. So let's flip this. When employers offer more than a paycheck, they lead with humanity and create space for staff to grow personally, not just professionally. And something amazing happens. What you find is staff stop hiding. They actually have the courage to ask questions. They lean in, they perform better, and they actually stay because you've created a culture now that feels safe and supported. And that's the main goal as an employee is to feel safe and supported. So you're going the extra mile. It means that you're actually going to have the best return on investment for your staff, and it shows a nature of caring. Let's not kid ourselves. Most employees won't tell they're struggling. They'll suffer quietly. They'll smile, they'll perform, they'll show up until it can't anymore. And that's why the best leaders don't wait for that cry to help or before they lose their fantastic, beautiful talent. They embed support as part of the culture now. They normalize money conversations. They offer coaching as part of a wellbeing service. And they create a safety without conditions, okay? So it's very safe and private. Because if your workplace doesn't feel like a place where someone can say, I'm just not coping, then it's not a safe space for them. Here's my final thoughts and here's my truth. You don't have to raise every salary to keep the best people. You just need to offer them something different that money can't buy. The tools, the space and support to feel in control of their financial lives. That's what today employees want. They don't want any gimmicks, don't want any lectures. They don't want any non-generic stuff. They want real conversations, real help and real respect. So if you're a HR consultant, a business owner or a leader who cares, my invitation to you is this. Start with the conversation. Talk to your team and ask them what support looks like to them and be willing to lead, not just manage. Because when you create peace of mind for your people, they'll repay you with loyalty, energy and trust. And a world full of churn and burn, that's priceless. All right. If you felt this episode was share worthy, then please do share it with someone else. And let's help get the culture back into some of these employment groups that staff want to stay and retain your good staff. All right. Thanks for listening.